Hello and welcome and good evening, and tonight I'm revisiting the Atari 2600 because wintertime is coming, Christmas is coming, and I haven't done any game reviews in ages, and I don't like them very much, and viewers don't seem to like them either. But there are so many nice homebrew games for the Atari 2600. I also have homebrew games for other systems, but maybe I'll talk about those in a different video. But this time I want to concentrate on brand new and not that brand new games for the 2600. This here is the Junior, but it also runs on the regular 2600s. And most of the games will also run on the 7800, with at least the exception of Kicks. At least it doesn't run on my 7800, which is why we're using the 2600 Junior today. And at the end of the video, I will be giving away one of these games because of a story that I will tell then. So stay tuned, keep watching, I hope. And yeah, there's a bunch of different games here. 3 of the games are from Champ Games. John Champeau, that is. He does arcade conversions for the 2600, and those are actually pretty decent. Very decent, especially considering what the 2600 hardware can actually do. And there are 2 from Audacity Games, which are ex-Activision founders and employees, back when Activision was a really cool company. Let's say it like that. And they have come out with 2 games already. One is already a couple of years old, and the other one is from this year. So we'll have a look at both of them. So let's start off with Kicks. So this is Kicks, which is obviously inspired by the Kicks game, arcade game, where you draw lines and try to conquer a bunch of area on a playfield. It's better to show this than to actually talk about this. So let's have a quick look. As you can see, the game is controlled via the joystick, and you're playing the purple circle or whatever you call, and you can draw lines to conquer area. The lines that go bouncing back and forth on the playfield are called the kicks, and the sparks there are called actually sparks that run along. Those are your 2 kinds of enemies, and once you have conquered more than 70% of the playfield, you advance to the next level. Every percent above 70% will give you bonus points, and in later levels you will deal with 2 kicks at the same time, which you can split off by racing between them, and then the level directly ends, but you get more bonus points in the following round. If at any point your trail is hit by the kicks, you will lose 1 life. Equally, if you encounter a fuse on your way along the border, you will also lose a life. And that's already it. I mean, it's very similar to the arcade game called, with a very similar name, QIX. Next game on the menu is Robot War, which is, I think, originally called Robotron, 20-something something. And this is a pretty faithful arcade conversion. Also comes in this nice box with instruction manual, etc., etc. And the important thing here is, as the original arcade game, it is a game best played with 2 joysticks, which I have actually plugged in. It does also support the save key and the Atari Vox module for high scores. However, then you can only use 1 joystick, except if you have a quad Atari adapter where you can add 4 joysticks, and you can also use 4 joysticks for 2-player modes, because this is a 2-stick game where you control your character with 1 stick and shooting with the other stick. Very similar to some other games like that. So let's have a look at the action. As mentioned before, Robot War is best played with 2 joysticks. With the left one you steer your character, and with the right one you shoot in different directions. And here you can see the first level. There are some humans running around, which you have to save for bonus points. If you don't save them, you will still advance to the next level, but you will lose a lot of bonus points. And the robots will eventually kill the humans, as you can see here, indicated by that lovely skull. And touching any of the robots or getting hit by any of their shots, and not every robot can shoot, will result in one lost life, obviously. So that's something to look out for. And some of the robots have very nice sprites, some are rather simple, and I think they're made with the Atari 2600 playfield, these basic blocky robots, for example. But I think otherwise it would not be possible to get this many sprites without a ton of flickering onto the screen. And there's still quite a bit of flickering due to the multiplexing of the sprites. But still, this is a very, very faithful arcade conversion of Robotron, under a different name, obviously, and it's definitely a whole lot of fun on the 2600. Zookeeper is another arcade classic, which many people probably won't know, but it's super cute. You're basically running around the cage of the animals. Sorry for the colors here, they are a bit mad. And building the walls, basically, to keep the animals inside of the cage. They will dig holes in there, and every cage animal will give you a bonus. In between there will be bonus rounds where you save a princess, obviously. And yeah, it also supports the save key, obviously, and that's pretty nice. Let's have a look at the action here as well. Zookeeper is a pretty hectic game, but a lot of fun. This is played on Novice, which gives you not that many animals to start with and quite a thick wall that the animals will try to destroy and escape from. And during running around this, you will see different phases where you can pick up bonus items if you can collect them, and also a kind of, it looks like a shovel, but I think it's supposed to be a net that you can catch the animals with, and it will transfer escaped animals back into the cage. And every level takes, I don't know, something like 20 seconds only. Every phase is like 5 seconds-ish or something. So it's really a very, very fast-paced game. I do like it very much, but it's also very hard. And every couple of rounds there will be a bonus round, which reminds a little bit of Donkey Kong or Super Mario arcade or something, where you jump over these moving platforms and rescue the princess. There are different variants on this bonus level. So the later levels will change a little bit, but the idea is always the same, to rack up bonus points. All in all, it's a great game, it's super fast paced, and I like it very much. So this is Circus Convoy, and sorry for the washed out colors here. In real life this looks much better, but the LCD screen is a bit hard to film actually. This was the first game by David Crane and Gary Kitchen from formerly Activision, now Audacity Games. And it's quite impressive. You are this hero here running over these circus trucks, I would say, or trailers, and trying to collect as many diamonds as you can. There are a couple of puzzles in there and a ton of mini games that you have to solve. And the interesting thing is there is also a QR code where you can register. You can just scan it from the 2600, where you can register your game and then have worldwide leaderboards, because every time you die or you finish the game, depends. And this game has an end, it seems. I haven't managed it there yet, but you get another QR code where your score will be uploaded then via your mobile phone onto the global high scores, which is pretty nice. That's actually pretty cool. So I'm trying to show a little bit more of the gameplay here because there's so much to see here. But yeah, let's check it out. So the game is a kind of puzzle game, mini game, action game, platform game. It's a lot of stuff in here. And you play as Andre the Magnificent. This is your hero. And you will be running on top and through all these carriages in this circus convoy with a lot of different screens. Your goal is, as I said, to collect diamonds, and you collect other items. This here, for example, is a parachute, which lets you fly between different sections of the convoy, and you can look at your score. But eventually you will figure out that there are certain levers to be pushed or things to be done to unlock certain areas and rooms in the game that you don't have access to otherwise, which is actually a pretty neat thing. For example, here you have to jump onto the head of the giraffe to get a pistol, which you can later use to clear an obstacle or to shoot several things, let's say. And there are other places to find bullets and shoot something, but this is the first example of that. If you encounter an enemy, you will die and you have like 4 or 5 lives left from the beginning. And yeah, not every enemy is deadly, but here's, for example, the place where you need to use the bullets. You have to shoot it, this steel wire drum or whatever that is, a couple of times to get to the lower level of the convoy. And there's a pretty nice nod to Pitfall, which was also an Activision game. And there are things like that in all through the game. Little homages and little nice things to remind you of other games that were big on the Atari. All in all, it's a super complex game that I'm very impressed with, and I do like it very much. Haven't solved it yet, but there are a lot of people out there who already did, because there's no save function, obviously. You have to start from the beginning all the time, and you will do a lot of backtracking between the different parts of the convoy. And last but definitely not least, this is the second game by Audacity Games. It is Alien Abduction by the same programmer, John van Ryzen, who did Hero. And once this is playing, and you can also register this for the global high scores, you will see that it is very much a successor to Hero. So let's just check it out and see what it plays like. And right from the get-go, you can see that this is definitely the spiritual successor to Hero. The game mechanics are very similar. You are playing a person with some kind of Hoover pack or something, or Hoover shoes, and you can shoot enemies. There are dangerous red walls that will suck up your energy, and there will be a person to be rescued down at the end of the level. There's a lot of different enemies here. The game itself is much simpler, I would say, than, for example, Circus Convoy, but still a lot of fun and very similar in spirit to Hero, which was a great game, one must admit. And it's absolutely also rather difficult, at least for a beginner, to get past all the enemies without losing lives or energy. For example, it took me also a while to figure out how this dynamite pack should be used, so I blew myself up a couple of times. But those are not in your inventory like they were in Hero, but you can trigger them and run away basically. And there are quite a few situations where you need to blow up walls, just like you did in Hero. And yeah, and definitely a lot of different enemies and tons of levels to enjoy. I think this is a pretty neat game. If you like Hero, then you will definitely also like this game. It is not as complex as the games that we've shown before, because it uses no enhancement chips or anything that I can tell, at least. But it's still massively impressive that the 1977 Atari 2600 can do something as complex as this. So yeah, this is Alien Abduction by Audacity Games. So, and those are all the games that I wanted to show you. There are a ton of more homebrew games coming out on physical cartridges as ROM-only downloads and whatever. The Atari 2600, although it is already 47 years old, almost half a century, it is still getting a lot of releases and a lot of good games, I think. I think all of these games are really fun. They are, of course, not super complex. They are of the arcadey type, and you can play them for 10-15 minutes or something and put them away without being lost after a couple of weeks of not playing them. And that's what I think is great about these. Those are not bad games at all. They don't have superb graphics as you would expect from newer platforms, but why would you? I mean, that's the 2600. But coming to the giveaway, I will give away this copy of Zookeeper for free to someone who will be drawn in the next weeks. You have until today's the 5th of November when I film this. I would say until the 15th of November to send in an email to route42@route42.de. That's route42@route42.de if you want to partake in the raffle. Note that this is a PAL 60 Hz version, so you need a PAL 2600 to play this, otherwise the colors will be off. Not sure it will even start on an NTSC machine. If you have a PAL machine lying around and want to play this, you can definitely partake in this. Send an email with your nickname, your handle, whatever you're happy to be seen on screen with. And if you're drawn, I will contact you on your email address that you wrote from and ask for shipping details. I think all around the world should be fine mostly. If it's a very obscure country, we might have to figure something out, but European Union should be fine. Canada, US should also be fine. United Kingdom should be fine. You might have to pay taxes and customs. I will pay the shipping as a thank you for being such a loyal viewer. And again, this is the PAL version. If you have an NTSC console only, you might want to think twice about this. Why do I give this away? Because I ordered Kix and Robotron from Atari Age during the last chance sale from Alia Russo, who's heading the Atari Age store. And he had so many orders, more than he usually gets in a year, in a couple of days. And it took him a lot of time and effort to get these all shipped out. And when he sent this to me, I'm not sure which one, either Kix or Robotron, wasn't in the package, but there was a copy of Zookeeper in there, which I already have. So he said, keep it, I'm sending you another copy free of charge. I did have to pay customs on this, didn't get this back, but who cares? I have 2 copies now, and instead of selling it, I want to give back to you people out there, so that's why you get one of these for free, more or less. And yeah, that's all there is today, I think. I'll be back with hopefully another Let's Code video soon. I do have something in the pipeline. And there's loads of other videos, but as this is still kind of a hobby, I have hardly any time to make enough videos. But yeah, remember, route42@route42.de. 15th November, I will shut off all the submissions basically and draw a winner. And yeah, you will hear from this on this channel, obviously. So subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, until then, see ya.